So I thought and I'm going to try and stick to 10 minutes because no one wants to listen to people for more than 10, I think. I certainly don't. My first point really, 10 lessons um, in 10 minutes. My time starts now, I suppose. Uh, Go on a discovery. I think it's really, really important for us, all of us, whether it's me at my geriatric age or you at your disgustingly young age, we need to spend time with ourselves. We need to introspect. We need to understand who we really are. One of the biggest shortcomings we have as humans, as individuals, as professionals, as persons, is we do not spend enough time with ourselves. We conform. We are conformists by nature and we do what the world around us wants us to do. Introspect deeply. Find out who you are. Go on a discovery, as I'm saying, of yourself. And importantly, when you figure who you are and what makes you happy, make time to pursue that happiness. Okay? So go on a discovery is my first really prompt to you. I have 10, like I said earlier. I touched upon this. Make time for your passion. I mean, someone passionate about sports? I know Stephus is. Yeah, he is. I know a fair bit more about him than I know about the rest of you all. But are you passionate about, how many are passionate about football? Do you play the game? Do you find time to play the game? Be honest. Yeah. You should. You should find time to play the game. If you're passionate about music, you should find the time to listen to music. If you're passionate about theater, if you're passionate about reading, if you're passionate about films, find the time. Make the time to actually indulge yourselves. I'm not saying this flippantly. I'm saying indulge yourselves. It makes for better people. It makes for more informed people. It makes for more practical people. And my passions help me even to the day. And they seem so disconnected at some points in my life, but they seem so very connected in other points of my life. And I believe that's really, really worth it. So make time for your passions, okay? Hopefully, your passions will be around your workplace, and that will be a double whammy, so to speak. The third point I want to make really quickly, and this is something I feel very strongly about, is to chase positivity. I'm going to use a cliche that I use very often. I'm actually accused of using it more often than I should, but I don't care. It conveys what I truly believe in. I want to chase positivity. There's too much of open the newspaper today. Turn on a TV channel today. All you hear is negativity. It's not false. Maybe it's true. I don't know. But you know what? It makes me a very cynical, depressed person. You must be aware. You must be aware, positive or negative, of what's happening around you, because that is information that you need to process. The point I'm making goes a little beyond that when I say chase positivity. I always believe the cliche that I'm not supposed to say what I'm going to say is the glass is always half full rather than half empty. I promise you it changed my life. It will change yours. It's a huge upper for me. I mean, I can look at negativity and become a cynical person. I know people who are watching a soccer match. So I'm a Brazil fan, okay? And I watched them lose against Belgium. And everyone's expecting me to be down. And yeah, I was. But you know what? I thought we didn't convert the chances we got as Brazil. I thought Belgium made the most. Of course, one was an own goal, but the second goal was a brilliant goal. Hey, you know what? They took their chances. They won. Such is life. So, everyone's looking at me, but aren't you a Brazil fan? I said, yeah, but I'm also practical. So the point I'm making is enjoy the larger picture. While you're passionate about stuff, enjoy the larger picture. Okay? Positivity. Don't forget, in every situation, you can look at the half full rather than the half empty. Don't ignore why it is half empty. Look at it carefully, but also focus on the fact that it's half full. It'll make you a more obviously positive person. It'll make you way more productive than you would have been if you actually focus on the half empty or negativity. Someone again said earlier that failure is a very important part of success, and I so resonate with that. I'm going to tell you a little story, quick story. 10 minutes is all I've given myself. And I want to say this actually almost proudly. I was a bit of a rock and roller. use your imagination. Went against me most of the time. It certainly did when I was doing my SSC. So here's the gruesome truth. I failed my SSC. I failed it. I was a sportsman, theater lover, music lover. I failed. I couldn't believe it myself. My father couldn't believe it either. I think he shed a tear or two when I failed my SSC. But I quickly realized two things. One is that I'd failed it not because I was less intelligent than the exam demanded of me. It's because I was too indulgent in all my passion, okay, and some indulgences, not some, many indulgences. And the second reason I didn't pass my SSC is because uh, I didn't focus or realize the importance of uh, of learning. Anyway, the lesson I learned from that is that one has to be practical about life. I applied myself. We have the AT, KT, you still have it, I think. And I appeared 6 months later, and I'll say this with a little element of pride, I got a first class. It just taught me a few things. It taught me that one needs to be cognizant of life in its entirety. Okay? Success is very often, the what you derive from failures. You don't work towards being a failure just to achieve success, but if you do fail in whatever you do, make it really the starting point of the success story around that. What is pretty much unpardonable is if you fail once and then for the same reasons that you failed the first time, you fail the second time, hey, not so cool. You need to look in the mirror long and hard. But I believe, really believe, that failure is a very important part of success. I'm repeating, don't work towards being a failure. Uh, I'm going to move on. There's loads I can say about that, but I'll move on to define the terms that you live life on. I want to say this with as much emphasis as I possibly can. Again, this was touched on earlier. I think Vinod spoke about it. Be what you want to be, not what mom and dad want you to be, not what your sister and brother want you to be, not what the neighbors want you to be, not what society wants you to be. I don't know if you get my drift, but if you've looked internally and you believe you want to be a certain kind of person, I'll give you an example actually, maybe the wrong example to speak about today, but let me say it. When we started or thought of starting Fountainhead 25 plus years ago, everyone except my parents, I must give them that credit, looked at us incredulously. What? Event management, what exactly is that? Actually, I didn't have a ready answer for that question either. But I tried to explain to the people that, there was a need. I was an anchor compare, and I found that organization of events was really bad, and I thought there was scope. I wasn't clearly defined in my head about where we were going and what we were going to do. I co-started it with a couple of other co-founders. But I made up my mind long before that, actually, and that was a result that I would do what I felt convinced and convicted about. And I did it. And I don't think we did too badly. Fountainhead continues to bring us great joy, bring us sustenance, sustainability. And I think we do some decent work for brands around. So it's worked. It's a big, big plus. It comes from defining the terms that you want to live life on. Live on your terms rather than what society decides the terms should be. This is a tough one. Huh? I'm going to say this is not easy. It's way easier said than done. It's easy for me to stand up here and say, live life on your terms. I know the pressure. But if there's courage of conviction right here, if you believe in who you are, if you believe you know where you're going, if you're willing to work both hard and smart, there's no one or the other. I was listening to that discussion earlier. Don't work hard, work smart. I don't know. Don't work smart, work hard. Definitely no. But I suspect it's a combination of smart and hard work that will take you where you are. No free lunches. Sounds terrible, but no free lunches. That's the reality of life.